Hello and welcome, I'm the Legendary Pokémaster, and today we are talking about the newly revealed Team Rainbow Rocket. This is the new team exclusive to Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, the new games coming out November 18th, and there are honestly a few things that are kind of unexplained about them, to the extent to which it kind of makes the whole thing kind of look, nonsensical. So today I'm going to be pointing out 5 of those things. With that said, without further ado, let's start. Number 5, it does not include every leader. This is the main problem I saw right off the bat with Team Rainbow Rocket. It lacks quite a few leaders from each team. The main guy I want to talk about here is Executive Archer from Pokemon Gold, Silver Crystal, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver. In case you didn't know, he's a former grunt in the original Team Rocket of Kanto, stationed at the Sevi Islands when Giovanni disbanded the original gang. Eventually, he became bent on resurrecting Team Rocket and returning Giovanni to his position of power, and created a second coming of Team Rocket in Johto. The second Team Rocket, in my opinion, was much more successful than the first team ever was. They were able to accomplish most of their missions, like collecting Pokemon at the Slowpoke Well and broadcasting signals from their Mahogany Town headquarters. They even got some Gyarados for future use, which is stronger than any other Pokemon Team Rocket tends to have. Plus, they told the protagonist. Successfully. That's like the only instance in which evil teams actually steal something from you permanently. And that makes them pretty powerful in my book. On the other hand, Giovanni's team's actions were all foiled by Red every single time, and typically they weren't able to accomplish anything without Red destroying or reversing their progress. Considering Archer basically proved himself as a good leader, probably even better than a lot of these guys, and taking into account that his goal was to serve under Giovanni again, I don't quite think it makes sense that he's not in the new team. Another leader I want to talk about is Colress. But Austin, he's a good guy now. Remember him from Sun and Moon being good and stuff? Yes, and I'll get to that pretty soon. But for now, I just want to note that he's not in the new team with his former boss, even though it's shown that he's physically in Alola, and was basically the leader of Team Plasma in Black 2 and White 2, with Getsis honestly tending to be a figurehead. While he technically wasn't the complete leader of Team Plasma, well, neither was Faba. Far from it, actually. And yet he's in this new team, so, yeah. Another leader that could fit in here is N, but technically he was never bad in the first place, so I didn't expect him to join. Number 4, motives don't match up. Another one of the obvious things about this new team is that the motives of all the leaders in this team don't quite match up. Giovanni wants a crime organization for the money, Maxie and Archie want to expand land and sea, Cyrus wants to destroy the universe, Getsis wants to freeze specifically universe for some reason with ice, and Lysandre wants to destroy only the world, not quite the fabric of space and time like Cyrus. With all of these varying motives driving the, evilness, I guess, of each of these people, it wouldn't quite make sense for them to band together into one thing if they each want to accomplish something specific. I mean, the new organization could theoretically try to cover each motive, but literally every single person's motive except for Giovanni conflicts with the others. Considering that it seems like Giovanni leads this new team, I guess it could be assumed that their primary motive is to be a money-making crime organization. But that wouldn't explain why a psychopath like Cyrus or already rich person like Lysandre would want to join in. Number 3, being in an evil team goes against what happened in the previous games. We all kinda know that story integrity is not kinda integral to Pokemon, but it's proven here. The leader I want to focus on in this case is Maxie and Archie, the respective leader of Team Magma and Team Aqua from Hoenn. At the end of the games with their mascots on them, each of them vow to do no harm from that point on, and actually end up becoming friends with the Hoenn protagonist. So how exactly does it make sense that they rejoin an evil team to do harm again? I don't know. Now you might be thinking, how do we know Team Rainbow Rocket is evil? Well, this dude says, and I quote, "I will make you feel a world of pain." Yeah, that sounds like a not evil team right there. So we know that the new team's intentions are bad, which makes good guy Maxie and Archie's participation kind of a mystery. This is where we go back to Colress's potential participation. If Archie and Maxie, who supposedly learned a lesson just like Colress did in Black 2 and White 2 are going, why couldn't Colress? I mean, if anything, it would make more sense than the Hoenn leaders for him to join. First off, it would be more convenient because he's close. Also, he has more of a skill set to offer, seeing that he has scientific research on enhancing Pokemon, while the other 2 leaders' studies failed. Number 2, some leaders could not have joined. Now with this, I'm not talking about the leaders having a crisis of morals like Maxie and Archie. Here I mean these leaders straight up could not have physically joined Team Rainbow Rocket. Our first award for this category goes to Cyrus. At the end of Pokemon Platinum, you defeat Cyrus in the Distortion World, which is a parallel universe to the one that the game takes place in that kind of has no way out. After the battle, he decides to stay in the Distortion World after the portal closes. So I think that's the end of the story for him. But apparently not, because here he is a few years later in perfect condition. You could go with with the Diamond and Pearl explanation where he just kind of escapes, but Platinum is more recent, which means it's probably more likely to be canon. I think the better example here, though, is Lysandre. After you battle him in the Team Flare HQ, the entire building collapses to rubble with him in it. Once again, end of story. But no periods. Although it technically isn't canon to the games, the anime basically shows that he dies at the end of X and Y. That is, and that they kill him off like this. That's it. Team Flare's members even implied that he wasn't coming back later on, but somehow he survived and was able to join Team Rainbow Rocket, which also seems to go against the morals he displayed in X and Y game and show. Number 1. All of its leaders have failed. Now this one is pretty straightforward, honestly. None of the leaders involved in Team Rainbow Rocket have succeeded, thanks to all the protagonists from previous games. Some of them even failed twice! So their forming together kinda seems like a futile effort, especially considering that, as far as we could tell, none of the leaders besides Giovanni brought anything new in terms of manpower. Plus, there are old protagonists who already beat these guys in Alola, like Bred. So why assemble a bunch of unaccomplished Team Rocket imitators if they have nothing on their resume and nothing to bring to the table? Although this could be answered in the game, this controversy surrounding the very formation of this team is the main reason why I don't think it makes sense to me. However, there are always two sides to things like this. Maybe each of my points can make sense with someone else's reasoning, so what do you think? Does the existence of Team Rainbow Rocket make sense? And why or why not? Please leave a comment down below. You could also subscribe to see videos like this twice a week. Regardless, Archer is the best evil leader, and I will see you in the next video.